Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Media Files. Here we have a special Blu-ray review of The Flash. Oh, yeah. We're going to sit down. We're going to chat about The Flash movie, what I thought of it, what quirks me still about it in certain sequences of the movie. And yes, I will discuss I will give my 2 cents on everybody's chit-chat about the CGI and what I think of it. And so with that, let's roll the credits. We're back. That's right. Wow, look at that. Quick as a flash. Right, yeah. Anyways, so here we have The Flash, a movie that was actually announced way back, almost 10 years ago, in 2014. It took them this long to get it made. But what can I say? For what they attempted to do, not bad. Not bad at all, considering, the amount of heat that was going on with the movie. And on top of that, yes, the actor had some, problems. I won't get into that. But mainly also because of COVID, that really screwed this movie around left and right. As we all know, it did with lots and lots of movies. And so, but the main reason why I really wanted to see it is because, well, it had the return of my favorite Batman from 1989, Michael Keaton, finally returning as Batman. Yeah. I mean, I freaked out. I was going nuts when I saw that photo of, I believe it was concept art of Ezra Miller's Flash with Michael Keaton's Batman, kind of, there with his fists up, ready to, take out some bad guys. It's that photo there. What can I say though? I mean, I loved it. I mean, I thought this movie was great. It was a great, nod to not only just, what everything that's come before it, but, the story itself was really well done, for the most part. If I were to give the movie a rating out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8.5. Now, what can I say? Let's just read the synopsis. The Flash uses his superpowers to travel back in time, inadvertently altering the future, but will making the ultimate sacrifice be enough to reset the future. Yeah. In other words, basically, as the subtitle says, worlds collide. Yeah, so there we go. We have Flash, we got 2 Flashes, a new Supergirl, and of course everybody's favorite Batman, Michael Keaton, if you ever saw that Batman in theaters. And what can I say? It's been 30 years since we really had Michael Keaton back as Batman, because the last time he played the role was at Batman Returns way back in 1992. He was supposed to do a third one with Tim Burton, and they're like, you don't want us to do a third one, do you? Because it was a little too dark. They're like, yeah. Okay. So, Burton leaves, Keaton leaves, then you know the rest. Kilmer, Clooney. So, yeah. Okay. So, let's see. I could have sworn I thought I had something else to show. Where is that? Oh well. Oh, there it is. Anyways, yeah. I forgot to mention this. Batman. Don't I have this? Yes. But not this edition. Yeah, this is actually the Digibook edition that I found. Look at that. Keaton, Joker, there you go. Has this really awesome, information and all that. We'll actually do a closer look at this at a later date. So that's the reason why I had to put this up here, because, well, this movie coincides with that. So about halfway into the film, our reluctant Red Crimson hero, changes the future, the past, goes back in time, and somehow ends up at Wayne Manor, where we actually see we see very familiar location for those of you that have watched this movie. But another interesting thing about it is that we actually see a few things that we've never actually seen before with this particular Wayne Manor. For example, we never got to see the kitchen. We see the kitchen, and it looks like a cellar. And then we actually see a few new things, including what actually lies in behind the bookcase. Yeah, because if you remember that bookcase that Bruce sits at in front of that on the couch there, the one where Alfred's dusting in the original movie, we actually see what is behind there. Awesome bat suits, including the original damaged one after the Batwing is destroyed from the original movie. We see that burnt up version, and then you also see the Batman Returns one as well as a few others that you can kind of tell from there, kind of related to the comics, kind of where he gets his start up to the one that he wears in this movie, which is kind of like a hybrid between the 89 and the 92 versions of the Batsuit. But still, though, he has the same great neck movement and everything. Neck movement? Nope, he just uses his shoulders. What am I talking about, right? Okay, so now let's get into my quirk with this thing. Warner Brothers, did you learn nothing from The Last Jedi? What do I mean by that? Yeah, small little rant here. Why does Bruce Wayne need to go the Luke Skywalker Last Jedi route? Why does he need to have the long hair and the beard when we first see him? That's been done to death already. Seriously, just because a character shows up so many years later, they don't need to have a long hair and beard to say, hey, guess what? I'm an old guy now. I've been around, so I got lazy and grew this. Thank God it's only in there for a few minutes. Thank God he gets rid of it. But, anyway. So now comes with my beef about everyone complaining about how crappy a lot of the CG was. Yes, it looks crappy in a few scenes, but that's the point of it. The reason why a lot of the CG, especially when it shows Henry Cavill Superman, how his face looks all messed up, it looks weird, looks rubbery, that's because Flash, he's in the Speed Force, so literally everything that he sees, it may look slow motion to us, but everything is going by like that. So it's going to, literally, as the saying says, and I quote, quick as a flash. So basically it's just him moving through time and space. That's why the CG looks somewhat crappy, because they did it that way. That came directly from the director's mouth. Look it up. Listen to the commentary. He says it right there. He says it in interviews. The CG is supposed to look wonky in scenes because he's in the Speed Force. Okay. So, enough rambling about that. Let's get rambling on about the scene that everybody was talking about and how awesome it was, considering the fact that before I even got a chance to see the movie, that scene was leaking so much on YouTube, I quit watching YouTube and I kept avoiding Flash spoilers like crazy because I didn't want to see what it was. So after seeing it, let's just say the fanboy in me geeked out like crazy, like loads of other people did. So, not only do we have 2 versions of Flash in this movie, we actually have 4 versions of Flash in this movie. Yeah, we have Barry Allen, this version. We have the dark version of Flash, the other one that he plays. We also have the original Flash from the old school comics. We also have the 90s Flash in there too. It's hidden, but it's in there. But on top of that, though, we got, let's see here. We have two Supermen in this movie. Yes, we saw Henry Cavill, but that scene that comes down, you see Superman coming down, and it's none other than Christopher Reeve. Such a great emotional homage, even if it's for just 10 seconds. Just imagine had he had not been in that tragic accident, and you had an older Christopher Reeve, which would have been like the Kingdom Come version of him, as well as Helen Slater returning as the original Supergirl for the '84 film. That little tidbit was awesome. And then it cuts to a giant spider. You all know where we're going with this one. That's right. The one Superman movie that we've never gotten, and there's been documentaries on it. Kevin Smith has talked about it. We finally got to see Nicolas Cage's version of Superman. Yes, they may have used AI to do it, but just imagine if they actually made that movie now versus when they were going to do it. Not only, sure, Nicolas Cage is a great actor, but not only now, he's more seasoned than he's ever been. He's older. And on top of that, they could actually do the story that they wanted to do all those years ago that they weren't able to do. I mean, just imagine, what if we actually could get this movie now? Yeah, sure, Tim Burton may not direct it now, but, he may, Tim, if you ever watch this, put your name on it as like an executive producer or something. But, I mean, come on, we still have yet to see Brainiac in a live action form. Nowadays, with the way CG is and everything, I would love to see that happen one day, as well as millions of other fans. Make it happen. Seriously, I don't care if you have to use computer, CGI, or whatever. Make it happen. If you can't do it live action, hell, do it animated style. Do it like this. Could they not figure that out so many years ago? They could have done it as a CG or as an animated movie. I would love to see that as an animated film. That would actually be even better, because then you could still make Superman the way he was supposed to look way back when they shot the movie. There you go. Done. Problem solved. Bruce Timm got on it. Anyways, after me rambling on about that, then another character shows up. We have the Adam West Batman for just a brief glimpse. He's there. And of course, we have Ben Affleck's Batman that shows up for a really awesome action sequence. Sure, his outfit looks a little bit different and whatnot, but hey, it's the gray and blue outfit from the comics, and he's kind of got that. Yes, the outfit is different, but I think that's his motorcycle gear that he's got on for his motorcycle suit. That was awesome. But of course, Wonder Woman shows up too, and Batman, when he sees her, because he's got the rope on her on his hand, he's like, "How you doing?" It's like he turns all Joey from from Friends to Wonder Woman. When he sees him, he's like, "How you doing?" He's just all smiling and everything. But that sequence where they start bringing in all of these other characters and stuff. But I mean, if you can actually freeze frame all of that and zoom in, I'm sure they probably have Dean Cain in there and Tom Welling in there, as well as the other Supermen, as well as other versions of Flash and other Batmans and what have you. So, overall, such a great little sequence. Unfortunately, as most of us diehard fans like to complain, it's too short. Yeah, what are you going to do? But then at the spoilers, if you haven't seen it yet, just saying, then at the end of it, everything gets all reset, we think. And then George Clooney shows up. We're like, wait a minute. Now the Batman and Robin movie is now actually part of the continuity? Okay. The question is, two questions. Either A, that's actually kind of somewhat awesome if you had the right script for Clooney to actually do it with, or B, why? Yeah, I'll have another Batman and Robin rant video for Batman Day. Mainly me complaining about the iTunes version of it. Yeah, you'll be seeing that. So yeah, overall, what can I say? Oh, and then Batgirl. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention about it is Batgirl. Good lord, I cannot talk today. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the other Batman, Bat-related movie that has Michael Keaton that we'll never get to watch. That'll be another rant video. Um, so yeah, so the new version of Supergirl, which is basically would be the Snyder version of Supergirl, who was basically teased with the opening with that canister or whatever that was opened in Man of Steel. We finally get to see which version of Kara Jor-El that's there. And lo and behold, well, they use one of the comics. It's actually Superman, but they switched it to Supergirl. Pretty cool sequence, I gotta say. And the actress that they picked for Supergirl, pretty awesome. Then they have to throw Zed. Blah, blah, blah. They have to throw Zod back into the mix. It was kind of interesting to see the fact that Flash actually was there at the Battle of Metropolis right when he got his powers. So that was actually a pretty cool, interesting tidbit. And then they have to, because of him changing the time and the reality and everything. Obviously everything changes. And on top of that, back to Keaton. Why is it that we have to bring in a character that we haven't seen for 30 years? You do the Last Jedi thing with him, and then what do? Well, he's got to sacrifice himself. Why? It's like, seriously, you hype up this character, then you kill him off again. And again and again and again. I'm like, why? I get that's the point of the story at certain points, but come on. Seriously? You got a guy who's like in his 70s now, and he should have been playing this character at least, for another, basically for the original run of the Batman films. Seriously. Anyways, that's enough of me about ranting about this movie. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but overall, I thought it was pretty decent for what they were trying to do. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you to purchase it through Amazon. Now, I know I've said that in a lot of videos, and I've actually not had a lot of time to actually update the links because I've been so busy lately with work and everything else that life gets in the way. So with that, eventually everything will be updated at some point. So, yeah. So with that, remember to please like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and with that, I'll see you in the next video.